Welcome back to Coin Collector. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most interesting coins from the mid-1960s, the 1966 United States 10-cent coin, also known as the 1966 Roosevelt Dime. Even though it might look like just another dime in your pocket, this coin has a fascinating history, surprising minting details, and hidden collector value that every coin lover should know. Let's start with the background. The Roosevelt Dime was first introduced in 1946, 1 year after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, to honor his leadership and his fight against polio. The dime replaced the Mercury dime, and the U.S. Mint wanted a design that represented progress, strength, and unity. By 1966, the coin had already become a familiar part of American life, but this was also a time of major change in U.S. coinage. Here's the interesting part. In the mid-1960s, the United States faced a serious coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins because the silver content was becoming more valuable than the coins themselves. To solve this problem, the U.S. Mint decided to remove silver from circulating dimes and quarters starting in 1965. That means the 1966 dime was part of the first full year of non-silver coinage in U.S. history. Instead of being made of 90% silver, the 1966 Roosevelt dime was made with a copper-nickel clad composition, an outer layer of copper and nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Now, let's talk design. On the obverse, or front, of the coin, you'll see a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. His initials, JS, can be seen just below Roosevelt's neck. On the reverse, the coin features three powerful symbols: a torch representing liberty, an olive branch for peace, and an oak branch symbolizing strength and independence. Together, they perfectly capture the spirit of post-war America. Next, let's look at the minting details. Here's what makes the 1966 dime special: no mint marks were used that year. That's right. From 1965 through 1967, the U.S. Mint temporarily stopped putting mint marks on coins to discourage people from collecting and hoarding them during the coin shortage. So whether your 1966 dime was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it won't show a mint mark at all. Now, on to mintage and production numbers. Over 1.38 billion Roosevelt dimes were produced in 1966, a huge number meant to get coins back into circulation quickly. Most of these coins were struck in Philadelphia, though some were made in San Francisco as part of special mint sets, not for general circulation. Let's move on to the value. Most 1966 dimes you'll find today are still worth 10 cents in circulated condition, but collectors look for coins in uncirculated or proof-like condition. A mint state, MS65 or higher, 1966 dime can fetch anywhere from $5 to $20, while top-graded examples, especially those with full torch bands, can reach up to $100 or more at auctions. Some special mint set, SMS, coins from 1966 have a distinctive satin finish and are more valuable, depending on the strike quality. These can sell for $20 to $200 if graded high by PCGS or NGC. But the real treasures are the error coins. Some 1966 dimes were struck with off-center errors, die cracks, double dies, or missing clad layers. These mint mistakes can turn an ordinary dime into a rare collectible worth hundreds. For example, a 1966 dime with a missing clad layer can be worth $250 to $400, depending on its condition. Another rare type is a double die obverse, where Roosevelt's profile or the lettering appears doubled. These are highly sought after by error collectors. Now, here's a fascinating historical note. The 1966 dime was also part of the special mint set program instead of traditional proof sets. During 1965 to 1967, proof coins weren't made, and SMS coins were introduced instead. They were struck with more care and sharper details but not quite as shiny as proofs. Many collectors love these sets because they mark a unique 3-year experiment in U.S. mint history. When you look at the 1966 Roosevelt dime, you're not just seeing a small piece of metal, you're holding a symbol of an economic shift, a changing nation, and a turning point in U.S. minting history. It represents the moment when America transitioned from silver to modern base metals, balancing tradition with practicality. So, before you spend that old 1966 dime, take a closer look. Does it have strong details, a sharp strike, or an unusual color? Maybe it's a rare error. You never know, that tiny coin might be worth more than you think. And that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1966 US 10-cent coin. Next up, coin 1978 USA. Coin Collector, the channel where we uncover the hidden stories and amazing values behind everyday coins. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the 1978 United States 10-cent coin, also known as the Roosevelt Dime. You might have one in your pocket, but what if I told you some 1978 dimes can be worth hundreds of dollars? Stick around till the end of this video, because we'll cover everything: the history, minting details, rare errors, and collector values of this small yet fascinating coin. History and background. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime. It was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945 and was instrumental in founding the March of Dimes, a charity that helped fight polio. By 1978, the Roosevelt dime had already been circulating for over 3 decades, but that year's coins are still very interesting to collectors for their mint quality and variety of error coins. The 1978 dime was part of the copper-nickel-clad era, a time when the U.S. Mint had moved away from using silver to more affordable metals. On the obverse front, you'll see the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The inscriptions include Liberty on the left, In God We Trust, just below the chin, the year 1978 on the right, and a mint mark, if any, just above the date, a small D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no letter at all for Philadelphia. On the reverse back, the design features a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch, peace, and an oak branch, strength and independence. The words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime complete the design. This design has remained unchanged since 1946, a true icon of American coinage. In 1978, the dime was struck at 3 different U.S. mints. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 767,140,000 coins. Denver Mint, D mint mark, 377,963,000 coins. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, proof coins, 3,127,781 coins. That's over 1.1 billion dimes minted in total, a massive number. But don't let that fool you, high-grade and error coins from this year are where the true collector value lies. Composition and specifications. Metal, 91.67% copper, 8.33% nickel. Weight, 2.27 grams. Diameter, 17.91 millimeters. Edge, reeded, 118 reeds. Unlike older silver dimes, the 1978 version has no silver content, but its durability and iconic design keep it popular among collectors. Let's talk about what these coins are worth today. Circulated condition, around 10 cents, still face value. Uncirculated condition, MS60, MS63 around $1 to $3 US. High mint state, MS65, MS67 between $10 and $50 US, depending on luster and strike quality. Proof coins, S-mint usually worth $2 to $5, but deep cameo proofs in perfect condition can reach $20 to $30. But here's where it gets exciting: some rare errors from 1978 can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Off-center strike. If the coin's design is not centered and part of the metal blank is visible, it can sell for $50 to $150, depending on how off-center it is. Double die obverse, DDO. Some coins show doubling on Roosevelt's face, Liberty, or In God We Trust. These can sell from $100 to $500 in high grades. Clipped planchet. A dime missing a curved section along the edge is worth $30 to $100. Broad strike or partial collar errors. If the coin looks slightly stretched or lacks the usual rim, it may bring $25 to $80. Die cracks and cuds. Coins with raised metal lines or blobs, from cracked dies, can be worth $10 to $40, especially if the error is bold and visible. Proof errors, 1978 S. Proof dimes with strike-through marks, missing frosting, or double strikes are extremely collectible, often fetching $200 to $600 in octi. The Philadelphia dimes, no mint mark, are the most common, but high-grade examples are hard to find. Denver mint coins are also plentiful, yet a few strong strike D mint examples graded MS-68 have sold for over $150. The San Francisco proof coins, struck with mirror-like surfaces, are primarily collected in original mint sets. If you find a 1978 dime with an unusually sharp strike, full bands on the torch, and no scratches, you may have a gem that's worth grading. How to check if your 1978 dime is rare. Look under magnification for any doubling in the lettering or date. Check the torch's horizontal lines on the reverse. Full, sharp lines mean a higher grade. Inspect for mint errors, especially off-center or die breaks. Weigh the coin. If it's heavier or lighter than 2.27 grams, it could be a wrong planchet error, which is very valuable. Rare sales and auction examples. A 1978 D Roosevelt Dime graded MS-68 by PCGS sold for $293 at auction. A 1978 S-Proof 68 Deep Cameo fetched nearly $120. Off-center 1978 dimes have sold between $100 and $250, depending on size and visibility of the date. So yes, some small 10-cent coins from 1978 have brought big money to lucky collectors. Interesting facts. The Roosevelt dime has the longest continuous obverse design of any U.S. coin still in circulation. You can still find 1,978 dimes in your change today. Over 1 billion were minted. The coin's designer, John R. Sinek, also designed Roosevelt's presidential medal before adapting it for the dime. Collector tips. If you're collecting Roosevelt dimes, here are some tips. Focus on mint state grades, MS-65 and above, they're where value jumps significantly. Always check for full torch, FT, details on the reverse. Collectors pay premiums for those. Keep your coins in airtight holders to prevent toning or scratches. Consider submitting high-quality coins to PCGS or NGC for grading. Certified examples sell much better. So, the 1978 US 10-cent coin might seem ordinary, but it's part of an amazing American legacy, honoring a great president, carrying decades of history, and offering exciting opportunities for collectors. Whether you have a circulated dime from your spare change or a pristine proof from a mint set, each coin tells a piece of America's story. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more awesome coin videos here on Coin Collector. And remember, always check your change, because even a small dime can hold big value.